Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now, with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? My incredible Level Up friends, this podcast is brought to you by Upstarter Podcast Network, and all of our shows revolve around positivity, mindset, entrepreneurship, health, and wellness. And if you are looking for more content like that, check out upstarterpods.com and listen to the others in our podcast family. Happy Monday, my Level Up leaders. Last episode, we concluded our 3-episode streak on energy. It was all inspired by the book, The Energy Bus by John Gordon. So our energy is everything. Everything in life is energy, and we create constantly, and we're adding to this incredible energy force. In order to lead and love and become the leaders that we were born to be, it's all about energy. Energy and enthusiasm are important. The most successful teams have it. Every team wants it. But the reality is, my friends, most teams don't have it, but you have the ability to create it. When you have it, your team will have it. When you get energized, your team will get energized. So if you have not listened to this series, go back and listen to episodes 17, 18, and 19, because they're like a 3-series family, and take your energy meter to the next level. So I'm excited about today's episode. It is about leading versus managing a team. Now, there are people in this world, right? Their title is manager. But right now I'm talking about leadership. And I'm talking about management in leadership as not a really good word. But yet being a manager, right, in some professions is good. But I'm talking about leading versus managing in a leadership role. So if your goal is to lead, if you are on a mission to become a better leader and to develop leaders, then this episode is for you. Leading and leading from the front is key. Like I can't stress the word front enough. When we stop leading, here's what happens. We don't do it intentionally, but we begin to manage. And there is a very large difference between managing and empowering. Empowering is moving others as a result of our example. It's being on that field, right? That field that you're building, that game that you're playing. It's about building this brick by brick. It's about being all in, soaking wet, involved, in loved, focused. It's walking beside, not in front, not barking out orders, but really leading. Management is about executing functions on a day-to-day basis. It's about giving tasks and telling others what to do. Telling others what to do. You guys, leaders are hungry. Leaders are in love with what they are creating. Leaders lead. Leaders know the way, they show the way, and they go the way. Leaders lead with light, like this bright light that people can see, that they're drawn to, like a moth to light. Leaders know where they are going. They don't need light to see, right? They lead with light, but they can see in the darkness. They are driven by their vision. Leadership is about motivating people rather than just focusing on the day-to-day. Leaders see beyond today. Of course, today is important, but where are we going next week? Where are we going tomorrow? Where are we going next year? Leaders lead with vision. They are always looking at the horizon. They're always looking toward the future. When you see your vision crystal clear, it moves you. Like you're moving towards this beautiful vision that you have created. So I'm going to go over a few differences between management and leading. Now, you might identify with management. And from time to time, we all do. So here's a little bit of advice from my heart to your heart. Give yourself grace. This isn't a label, okay? We're not labeling somebody a leader or labeling somebody a manager because we're works in progress, okay? We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for progress. So give yourself some grace, but at the same time, jumpstart yourself and remember who you are and what you're capable of doing. So I don't know if any of you guys are Disney fanatics. I love Disney, and I love the movie Lion King. So I don't know if you've seen the movie Lion King, but I thought of this. So I don't know if you remember in the movie, like Simba, like wandered off. If you remember, like his dad got killed by the coyotes and he thought it was his fault and he wandered off. Like he forgot who he was. He forgot his power. And then he became like friends with Timon and Pumbaa. But then long story short, he like looked at himself in the water and you saw like Mufasa saying, Simba, remember who you are. Remember who you are. So I want you to look in the mirror and remember who you are. It's time to come back to your promised land and lead with vision. Leaders are in love with what they are creating no matter what is going on. That means good days, it means bad days, it means lesson days, it means obstacle days. Like they're so in love with what they're going. Everything is a byproduct. Managers are happy when things are going well. It's so easy, right? Oh, great day. Manager's on fire. That fire inside of you is lit no matter what is going on. Leadership is about empowering others. That's our goal as a leader. We don't want to be the one, the star, the shining light. It's about having many people follow in your amazing footsteps by empowering them. Management tells people what to do. Leadership is about identifying key talent and allowing your team, giving your team the space to rise up and take their space where they belong because you're making room for them. My friends, when we don't grow, when we don't expand, we actually are putting a cement ceiling on our leaders, on our team, because we need to grow in order to make space for them to rise up. Leaders duplicate. We teach and train other people. We don't want to be the one. We want to duplicate our actions, our success, our activity, our work ethic, our leadership. When we manage, we control. We try to have our hand on everything because we feel like if we don't touch it, if we don't manage it, if we don't approve it, it's not going to go right. And so I want to give you guys a visual. Let's say you're building a team, you're building an organization, you're on your way to lead your team to the next level, but you feel you've got to have your hand in everything because you're just the best. I want you to picture like going along in like this big blow up boat, okay? It could be like one where you go whitewater river rafting and then all of a sudden there's a hole. Okay, you could reach it. You're going to put your hand over it. And then there's another hole. Oh my gosh, put your hand over it. And then there's another hole. Okay, put your foot over it. Now, if you've ever seen the game Twister, you've got your two hands on holes. You've got your 2 feet on holes. Maybe you could put your butt on a hole to stop it from exploding. But eventually, you're not going to get very far because you need to teach your leaders how to handle the fires, how to handle the obstacles. Sometimes they're going to go to fly and they're going to fall. But if you try to have your hand on everything with good intention because you think, oh my gosh, if I do it, it'll be done right, your boat's not going to get that far because you're going to be the one covering up all the holes all the time. Leaders set the vision. Managers follow it. Leaders are visionaries. Most leaders have a crystal clear vision of where they are going and where they are leading their team. They know they are not the only ones responsible for making the vision a reality. So the more people they breathe vision into by empowering others, there's more people on this mission. Through vision and leadership, leaders transfer a company's mission, a company's vision, and a company's goals. They transfer it from themselves to others. Leadership is a transfer of belief. It's not about giving orders. It's not about delegating. It's about like an infusion of belief from your veins, from your heart, from your vision to somebody else's. Leaders build trust in an organization. It's not because they're perfect, right? We fall, but then we rise. But it's about being humble and being servant and being vulnerable. Leaders know when to step into the spotlight and they know when to step out of the spotlight. My friends, managers love the spotlight. They want to be given the credit. Like, oh my gosh, they heard it from me. That was me. That was my leadership. Leaders know we cannot be everything to everyone. And to be honest, nor do we want to. Managers don't do it intentionally, but they keep their team small. They attempt to control. They want to be the ones to receive credit. Leaders make room for their leaders to fly and soar. So what happens sometimes as you're building a team or an organization, you might be like, okay, gosh, they're listening to this or they're talking to that one. And you might be thinking, oh gosh, I really wish they weren't. But here's the end of the day. We don't control. Leaders don't control. I don't have any right in my business to call somebody up and say, why were you on this? Why were you doing that? Leaders are leaders and you want leaders. You want them to make their own choices. And you know what? They may fail. They may fail, and you might know in advance this is probably not going to work, but it's our goal as leaders to still let them fly. That's how they develop. Leaders foster a productive work environment where their team feels empowered to share ideas, needs, and concerns. Again, we're not managing people, we're leading people. And to lead people, we want them to feel open and powerful to share their vision, their ideas. Leaders are transparent. Managers take control. The more transparent a leader is, the healthier the atmosphere of the team. Leaders are always looking for ways to improve. Leaders are always student. You guys, there's no such thing as like a leader. Leadership is always being a student of leadership. They're always coming up with new ideas. Leaders are always driving toward a forward-thinking mindset. Leaders find solutions. Managers focus on a problem. When you're leading, when you're growing, when you have a vision to level up in life, to level up in business, to level up in your success, problems, obstacles, people, barriers, you name it, it's going to show up. Leaders are solution-based. What's the solution? What can I learn? How do I get around it? How do I go through it? Where do we grow? How do we evolve? You're taking the problem and you're dissecting it to find the heart, the solution, the vision, because you know you're going anyway, so there's no point in focusing on the problem. My friends, what we focus on grows, right? So if managers are focusing on the problem, what is that doing? We know the law of attraction. It's attracting more problems. It's attracting more of that very same situation. When you are solution-based, when you're really leading with the heart and vision, solutions are going to find you because you're looking for them. You're expecting them. You're leading with them. Managers focus on how and when. Like, how are we going to do it? How? Leaders look for answers to what and why. What's the why? What do we need to do? We're going to get it done no matter what. It's not the how. You know, it's important to know the how, and whatever it is you're building, of course you need to know the how, right? But when you know the why, you're getting it done. When your why is big enough, when your vision is big enough, when you're leading from that place, you're getting it done. Managers think how things get done. Leaders focus on what should be done to achieve the greater results. So again, hand in hand, the managers are focusing on the how. Leaders do what is right over what is easy. My friends, taking the easy road in anything is going to eventually get you on the longer road at some point. That's where discipline comes in. That's where excellence comes from. You want to be leading from a place of excellence, and excellence is doing what is right over doing what is easy. A leader is always looking for new ideas. Leaders drive change with organizations. Change is the only constant. I'm reading this book series that I'm obsessed with, a Millionaire of the Bible series, Catherine Ponder. You guys have probably heard me mention this in past episodes, but over and over again, it talks about like change is coming no matter what. We cannot avoid change. We cannot stop change. It's the only thing that's guaranteed constant. And so when we are not open to change and we avoid change, it's going to happen anyway. It's just going to show up in more obstacles and more things. So change is the only constant. Be open to it. Lead in it. Lean into it. Leaders inspire positive change by empowering others. Leaders know this is a do as I do business. Managers focus on this is what I once did. And you guys, that's not how we lead. We lead in the moment, going for things, going for challenges, being excellent, raising the bar. Whatever we're asking our team to do, we're doing it. We're not meeting them at the top. We're walking right alongside with them, because every time you do something again or do something like you're relevant, you're there, you're learning, you learned a new skill. Success is a do as I do business, okay? Leaders push themselves to be great. Managers push others to work. And I want you to really think about that. When we're going for something, it takes us stepping into our greatness, leveling up, believing more, seeing more, loving more, doing more. We achieve greatness as a result of pushing ourselves toward our greatness, as opposed to, oh, if I get this one to do this and that one to do that, and I push this one, that's not inspiring and it's not leadership. Through your actions, if you have an organization, you have a team, they are going to rise up. It's going to be a much more organic, natural energy flowing because they are going to work when they see you continuously raising your level of excellence. Leaders are evolving, changing, and expanding. Managers live in the good old days. You guys, no matter what you do for a living, businesses change, times change, social media changes. It's about being new, and it's doing kind of the same thing, but making it new, making it fresh. It's not about, oh, this is what we did in No Dark 100, and we didn't do this 10 years ago. You guys, it's 2021. I was going to say 2022. So, and you might be listening to this in the future. It's whatever year it's in, evolve, change. Leaders look into the future. Managers look in the present. Now, looking at things in the present is important, but where are you going to be down the road in the future? What you do today is business 3 months from now, and then 6 months from now, and 9 months from now. So we're not just today focused. You know what managers do a lot of times? Maybe they'll put in the effort for like a day, 2 days, a week, and then they don't see the results, and they're like, oh, I didn't see the results. You're working towards your greatness. The future is going to see your results if you remain consistent and true. Leaders create culture. That's what we do. Managers live up to the culture. When you're on a mission to become a leader, you're creating that culture. What's your culture? Is it inclusive? Is it positive? Is it high energy? Is it excellence? Is it going for things? Is it earning things? Is it stepping out of your comfort zone? Is it being your what's your culture? What's your culture? Leaders look up. Managers look around. You know, I can't even tell you how many times in my journey I'm looking up to God. I'm looking for the answer so it could actually breathe down in my soul instead of just looking around. Because the way you look around to your organization, you must need to feel it inside of yourself first. So look up before you're looking around. Leaders look through a telescope and a microscope, and managers look through a microscope. So what do I mean by that? A telescope, you're seeing the future. And also at the same time, looking at a microscope. What's going on today? What needs to be done today? What needs to be done tomorrow? What needs to be done next week? So you can't just be a visionary with not looking at the day-to-day, because then you know what you are? You're a dreamer. Someday, which my friends, it's not a day of the week. But managers are only looking through the microscope. They're not looking at the big picture. So if a day doesn't go as planned, no big deal. Where's the future? What are we going to do tomorrow? It's looking through the two at the same time. Leaders find a way. Managers find an excuse. Here's the thing, and I've said it many times. You've heard it many times from people outside of myself. Excuses scream amateur, period. That's it. No excuses. Take ownership. You know, sometimes we make choices in our business. Be okay with your choices. But leaders find a way. They're always finding a way. They're finding a solution. They are growing through any single thing that comes their way because their goal is way more passionate and important than their excuse or their nonsense. Leaders talk into themselves. Managers listen to themselves. So what do I mean? Here's where the I ams come from. I am powerful. I am successful. I am wealthy. I am abundant. I am grateful. I am on fire. I am unstoppable. I am a leader. Talk into yourself. You know, when we talk to ourselves, sometimes like, oh my gosh, you're so stupid, or you're so clumsy, or I can't believe you did that. Don't listen to yourself. Don't listen to yourself. Talk into your heart, into your soul. Leaders listen to their heart, and managers, they're scrolling through social media. So when I say listen to your heart, what do I mean? Meditate, look inside, pray, focus, center, get yourself to a point of let's roll, because you're listening to your heart and you're reminded of your power and your vision. Leaders are grateful for the mentorship they receive. Managers blame others. You know, no matter what you do for a living, you could have the most amazing mentorship or you could have the worst mentorship. Here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Don't blame anyone. You are responsible for your success and anything. If you're in a business that somebody shared with you, if they never help you again, don't you dare complain, because you have every single thing it takes inside of you to build your business without them. Maybe that's God's way of letting you know you're enough. Don't blame. Be grateful for everything. Leaders take ownership. Managers take a break. We don't take breaks, okay? Take a breath, but not a break. We don't take a break from our vision. We don't take a break from our passion. We don't take a break from things we love, okay? We take a breath. Leaders set a new goal the minute they reach a goal. Managers rest on their success and they manage their team. They're goal-focused versus growth-focused. And we're going to do a whole episode on this. Goals are a never-ending process. When we reach a goal, it's the next, because here's the thing. Most people, when we reach a goal, we do it on a rush and momentum and energy, but we haven't really honed in on those habits yet. We haven't really honed in and mastered those skills yet. So how do we master them? To continue to do what we just did. What we just did over and over and over. That's the compound effect. That's how we grow and expand. Think about it even in weight loss. If somebody's like, I have a goal of 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds, and you put in the work and you put in the effort and you lose 10 pounds, and then all of a sudden you eat junk food for the next 5 months and you don't exercise, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to put the 10 pounds back on. It's the same thing with success. You can't just work towards a goal and they're like, and unbutton your pants. We're rolling, okay? A breath, not a break. Leaders focus on new business. Managers focus on existing business. I love my existing business. No matter what we do for a living, love your existing business, but it's the new, because you know what happens when we bring in new, whatever it is you do for a living? You're leveling up. You're sharpening your skills. You're building your skills. You're building your belief. You're building your vision. You're becoming the next level of you. Leaders raise the bar. Managers delegate. We're always pushing. We're always striving. We're always stretching. Leaders lean in. Managers pull back. When life happens, when things happen, when circumstances happen, when things happen that don't go your way, we lean in. Leaders focus on faith. Managers focus on fear. You guys, faith is a really interesting thing. Faith isn't convenient. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm a person of faith. But when the going gets tough, we live in fear. So are you really a person of faith? Because faith is unwavering. Know, believe, love, focused on faith. Know in your heart you are on your way to your goal. Leader, they're the thermostat of their team. A manager's the thermometer. So what do I mean? Leaders, they control the temperature. They're the thermostat. Our energy, we rise, our team rises. We're down, they're down. We control it. A manager, a thermostat is, if my team is up, I'm up. If my team is down, I'm down. They're actually reacting to the thermostat of their organization. Leaders focus on good habits. Manager talks about starting good habits. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to do it now. Focus on it. Become it. Leaders are visionaries. Managers are dreamers. They talk about the future, but if you're not doing anything, if you're not setting goals, if you're not getting uncomfortable, if you're not becoming your very best, where's the change happening? Leaders make things happen. Managers wait for things to happen. Oh, the next person that comes into my business, the next this, the next that. You've got it inside of you. Let's roll. Make it happen. Leaders focus on growth. Managers focus on what they see. Success is so much more than what you see. I don't know if we talked about this in the book, The Energy Bus, but one of the things that George got this dirty, dirty rock, but beneath it was a shiny, shiny gold thing. The eye can only see so much. It's what's underneath. Leaders, they know their team's whys and they know their team's goals. Manager, they know their numbers. Do you know your team? Do you know their whys? Do you know their goals? Do you know what moves them? Do you know what inspires them? Because as you're running towards yours, you're leading them towards theirs. Leaders work like they own the company. Managers work like they're getting a paycheck. So I don't know what company you work for, but I want you to envision that you own it. I would never talk bad about my company, ever, because I wake up every day like I own it. Leaders only speak of positivity and solution. Managers speak in terms of reality. Well, this is going on. This person did this. That's happening. Be a leader. You're casting the vision. Look through your business through these beautiful visionary goggles. Leaders are hungry for personal growth. Managers, they worry about their personal time. Leaders focus on comebacks. Managers focus on setbacks. Setbacks are always going to happen. We are not defined by our setbacks. We are defined by our comebacks. We come back stronger. We come back better. What could we learn from it? How could we do better? Leaders grow in those valleys. Managers sit in those valleys and they sulk and it woe is me and this person did this to me. Get up. Climb out of that valley. Leaders focus on the positive. Managers focus focus on the problem. Leaders get into massive personal activity. Managers run a challenge. And guess what? They don't work because your team is not going to be inspired unless they're led by an inspired visionary, running and being the first person to earn that challenge. Leaders create a vision. Managers focus on what they can see. Leaders focus on their why. Managers focus on the how. Leaders are focused on others. Managers are focused on themselves. Leaders learn from obstacles. Managers pull back and wait for the storm to settle. Leaders lead with love. Managers lead with emotion. Our hearts are our superpower. I read this and it hit me like a ton of bricks. So powerful. God keeps breaking our heart until it opens. Really think about it. Every struggle, every challenge, every adversity, every valley, it brings us closer to our heart. It grows our leadership. Sometimes in life, it takes us being broken down to discover our ultimate power. When you are going through stuff, it is a reminder that it is time to get in touch with the real, positive, next level of you. When we lead with our heart, we allow others in. We create connection, community, and build relationships. We've all heard this. No one will care what you know until they know how much you care. Leading with heart is completely different than managing. This is my call to action to all of you. Let's get on the field. Lead with vision. Be the hardest working person on your team. Have enough vision to share with every single person you come across. Believe so much that you're breathing life into others. If you put out a challenge, be the first one to earn it. Wake up early, stay up later, practice to be better, commit to being your very best, build your business, and don't rely on others to do what you were born to do. You were born to win. You were born with greatness inside of you. God gave you the gift of leadership. Don't waste it. And I believe I've talked about this in another episode, but this is like my favorite scene, the death crawl from Facing the Giants. And you could look on YouTube and let me know how it hits you, because it gets me emotional every single time. Your team is watching you. When you level up, you make room for your team to level up too. Get to work. If you're in the business of selling, show your team how it's done. Be your top sales rep, not to outshine them, but rather to be the light of possibility. If you're in the business of asking others to join you, ask with your heart and build like crazy. You are the leader. You set the tone. Leaders are passionate about what they are building. Managers manage what they have built. And my friends, that doesn't last. Remember this. People join you and or follow you because of the person that you are today. People stay with you because of the person that you become. Go out there and become the leader you wish to have in your business. Our goal is to become the leader we were born to be. When we become a leader, we have the ability to develop leaders. The greatest leaders lead with love. Next week, we're going to focus on leading with love because love is the most powerful energy in the world. Our goal is to have love be the driving energy behind everything we do. That is how we reach our ultimate level of energy, vibration, connection, and success.